Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So good. I am so excited to choose my November TBR together today. But first, we've got some stuff to talk about. We've got some things to catch up on. Okay. Some of you guys might be mad about this. That's okay. I'm willing to take the heat. I have decided, I've made an executive decision to quit Clear the Cart Season 2. Hear me out. Hear me out. I am not a quitter. Listen, I am so competitive. I'm an Enneagram 3. I will do whatever I need to do to complete a challenge. However, I have just been feeling so stressed out about Clear the Cart Season 2, trying to clear this cart by the end of February, to the point where reading hasn't even been fun. I've been kind of dreading it a little bit. Like, it's not the vibe. And like, reading is my hobby. This YouTube, booktube is something that I do for fun. Like, it's not my job. And so the fact that I've been dreading reading, I'm just like, girl, no. Like, we are not doing that to ourselves. Reading is what we love. Reading is what brings us joy. So we're not gonna take that away from ourselves. So that being said, I am doing what's best for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in Clear the Cart Season 2, especially with the holidays coming up. I'm gonna be doing lots of fun memory making with my family. We're actually going on a trip later this week, and I don't want to be like in the back of my mind stressed out about Clear the Cart. If I visit a bookstore and I want to buy a book, I want to be able to buy that book and not be like, oh, I can't clear the cart. Like, I have come to terms with book buying is also a hobby of mine. Like, reading, yes, love it, hobby. Book buying, also love it, also hobby. So I've just come to terms with the fact that my TBR cart, she's always gonna be overflowing. My dog is laying by the camera and he just rolled over and knocked the camera. So the angle looks different. It is in fact different because my dog, he just cuddled with you. Anyway, ever since I decided to stop doing the Clear the Cart challenge, it's been like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days since I've decided I'm not gonna do it. I've already had so much more fun with reading. Like, I started a new book yesterday, Happiness for Beginners. I'm reading it on my Kobo, which, by the way, 10 out of 10. Still love this thing so much. But I started it yesterday and I'm already 15% through, which is a lot for me in one day. And I'm just having a good old time reading again. And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So Clear the Cart, not happening, but I am still gonna do my monthly TBR videos because I love filming them. And it's kind of like mini challenges every month, right? What books off the cart am I committed to reading over the next month? And that's a fun challenge to me, not a stressful one, like clearing the whole entire cart and not buying any books until the cart is cleared. So that's what we're gonna roll with, is my monthly TBR videos. And I will give you updates on the previous month's TBR in the current month's TBR video. Does that make sense? That's a lot of TBR, a lot of stuff going on. So that being said, I am gonna give you an update on my October TBR. So as you can see up here on the screen, I did a pretty good job. So I'm actually filming this on October 28th. So I still do have a couple of days, and I do think that I'm gonna get 2 books finished. So I completed Project Hail Mary, absolutely loved it. That book was so good. You guys were right. I listened to it on audio, incredible. I am about 15% through Happiness for Beginners. So I do think that I'll finish it before the end of the month. I am 75% through Wild Reverence. I'm listening to that on audio. I read the first half and then I'm listening to the second half, and I do think I will finish that one before the end of October as well. I did not read People Watching, but I did buy the audiobook, and so I have it on deck, but that is a no for the month. Quicksilver, I did not get to. I have put that book off for months at this point. Like, it's kind of unreal. If it makes you happy, I did read that. Absolutely adore that book. Like, so sweet, so precious. Hallmark, please make it into a movie ASAP. The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, I did read that one. The Names, I did read that one. And then Babel, whatever it is, I did read that one as well. So I didn't get to 2 of the books, but then on top of that, I also read 2 books that were not on my TBR. So I'm like, I should have just stuck to the TBR, but I didn't. I read Demon Copperhead, and then I also read a nonfiction book, Every Woman a Theologian. I try to read a nonfiction book every month, and so I did get those completed in the month of October as well. So we did all right with the October TBR. Not perfect, but we're not striving for perfection here. We're striving to have fun while we read here. And so I'm proud of my progress on my October TBR. Next, I want to talk about new releases that I have coming in the month of November. I only have 1 new release pre-ordered for the month of November, and it is A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Cicerelli. It comes out November 4th. I don't know a single thing about this book. It was earlier this year, I read Heartless Hunter, and what's the second one? Rebel Witch, and I loved both of them so much, and they are by the same author, so I was like, I'm gonna buy this. All I know is it's gonna be added to my TBR cart on November 4th, so if I ever choose it for an upcoming TBR video, we'll talk more about what it's about. But for now, we're in the dark, unless you know what it's about. If you know what it's about, you can let me know in the comments. But the other thing that I want to talk about before we choose our November TBR, books that I've added to the TBR cart since we chose our last TBR. You guys, I added Midnight Sun, and I'm so annoyed with myself because I had this book and I unhauled it either earlier this year or late last year, I don't remember, because I was like, oh, I've tried to read it, I'm just not ever gonna read it, and I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. So I did buy the 20th, which is so crazy to say, year anniversary edition, the 20th year anniversary. How can Twilight have come out 20 years ago? Like, please, someone explain that to me. I read them in high school and I cannot wrap my mind around that it has been 20 years since the first Twilight book came out, 2005. Wild. So anyway, I bought the whole box set and it did have Midnight Sun in it. The box set is stunning. I love it. I think I showed it in my last video. Maybe, I can't remember. Maybe I just shared it over on Instagram. But anyway, I was like, you know what? This is my sign that we're gonna give Midnight Sun another go. I even bought the whole series on my Kobo because I'm that committed to reading this, but there's no way I'm carrying this thing around. So I'm gonna read it on my Kobo eventually, but this one has been added to the TBR cart since we last chatted. And then the other one, there's only one more. So I didn't go crazy. Oh my gosh, I just fought for my life to get this off the TBR cart. But the other book that I have purchased since our last TBR jar video is Slanting Toward the Sea. I do not know how to say the author's name, so I'm not even gonna try, but I've heard a couple of people talk about this and it just sounds like a book that is up my alley, so I am very excited to read it. It seems like a very emotionally driven kind of book, and I love an emotionally driven kind of book. So added this one. Those are the only two books that I added to the TBR cart since my last TBR jar video. Don't mind me, I'm gonna putting the paperbacks here so that it's easier to pull the hardbacks from the top, because see what I mean? Please hold. I deserve a sip of coffee after that. I need to just remember to keep all the hardbacks up on the top, like no questions asked, because I'm always fighting to get them out here and I get so frustrated. Anyway, okay, here's my November TBR. And I normally use a TBR jar. However, November is the last month that my book club is doing Bookish Fall Bingo. And as you can see, I have a lot of work to do, okay? My goal isn't to just get a bingo, because we're playing two ways. Like, you can just get a bingo and be submitted to win a prize, or you can fill up your whole entire board and like be submitted to win a different prize. I wanna cover my whole board. I wanna fill this whole board. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 spaces left to fill. Technically 11, but I put little dots next to a new release because I'm gonna use Wild Reverence for that when I finish it. And then a book that's been made into a movie, I'm gonna use Happiness for Beginners when I finish that. And I am gonna have those finished by the end of October, okay? Mark my words, mark my words. With those two off, I only have 9, and I feel like I can read 9 books in a month. Like, as long as I'm not choosing books that are all like this thick, I can do it. Instead of using my TBR jar like we normally do, we'll be back to the TBR jar next month. Bookish Fall Bingo will be over, but for now, we are going to use the 9 prompts that I have on my bingo board to choose the 9 books that I'm going to be reading in the month of November, okay? So the first one is one that I'm not looking forward to, a classic, okay? So I have a couple of options here. I have Pride and Prejudice, I have Emma, I have Little Women, and I have Sense and Sensibility. Now, I already know that I'm gonna go with Sense and Sensibility because I'm about halfway through it. I have been listening to the audiobook over the last like 2 months, and so I have half of the audiobook left, maybe a little bit more than half. Yeah, I think a little bit more than half. So my goal is to finish the audiobook for Sense and Sensibility by the end of November. So that being said, we're gonna add it as the first book to my November TBR, okay? So that is number 1. That one was easy. I already knew because I'm already in the middle of it. The rest of these, I don't exactly know what books I want to use for which prompts yet. So the next one is a book with a black cover. Okay, so I have a lot of choices for this one. Alchemized, The Night and the Moth, Midnight Sun, which these two are massive. So I'm like, girl, do you want to do that to yourself? But also I feel like November is a good time to read both of these, like fall time, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I'm a little bit intimidated by having those on my TBR, especially because I'm doing Bookish Bingo. If I was just like chilling, reading with no incentive, I would choose a long one. But knowing that I have to finish 9 books in order to fulfill Bookish Bingo, I'm like, okay, maybe we should set ourselves up for success, you know? So, okay. Alchemized, The Night and the Moth, Midnight Sun, the 5th season. Is this black? Not really. I would say no. Ooh, Recursion. No, that's kind of gray. No, gray. Oh, this is another one. I forgot. Another one that I added to my TBR cart since we last saw each other because my book club voted for our November read and this one was winning. And I thought this was gonna be our November book, but another book ended up pulling ahead and this one didn't win. So I did add this to my cart. I am excited to read it, but I did not have this one last time that you saw my cart. The book that actually won for November book club is The Reading List. So I was shocked because I really thought Recursion was gonna win. Okay, back on track here, back on track here. So a book with a black cover. Oh, I could do The Inmate, but I want to use that one for a mystery thriller prompt because it's the only mystery thriller that I have on here. So, oh, I could also do When the Moon Hatched. I always just skip over that book in my mind because I'm so intimidated by it. And then A Dark Forgetting as well. So I honestly think that I want to go with The Night and the Moth. I have been looking forward to reading this for months now. I've never read anything by this author. I know a lot of people love the One Dark Window series. Is it? I don't know what the series is called, but I know that's the first book. Like, I've never heard anything bad about it, and so I want to give this author a try. And so The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, I don't know, is going to be added to the TBR. I don't know anything about it, but it says that from New York Times bestselling author Rachel Gillick comes a gothic, miscloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. So don't know anything about it other than what I just said to you, and I have heard people say that they enjoy it. Like, I've seen really good reviews about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the TBR, and it does say book 1, so I guess it is part of a series. So we're gonna add this as a book with a black cover. Does this count as a black cover? I feel like yeah, right? Like, I mean, black and blue are the predominant colors here, but I think black, because like all this is black, this is black, this is black. We're gonna go with it, okay? So book with a black cover, got it. Okay, next prompt is, I'm looking down at my bingo board. I know you can't see it, but I'm looking down at the bingo board. A small town romance. All right, I feel like I have a couple that I can choose for this one. I feel like People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young, which I've heard very mixed reviews about that one. That's her new release, and I'm a little bit nervous to read it. And I don't want to use it for that prompt anyway. I have another prompt in the back of my mind for that one. So that is an option. Small town, small town. Love Arranged is small town. So I feel like this one could go, but she's thick. And then I don't know if this one is small town, but I really want to read it in the month of November because it's very fall. And I feel like if I don't read this in November, I'm not going to want to pick it up until next year. Okay, it takes place in New York City, so I would not consider that small town. So we're going to go ahead and put this one back. So maybe I'll do People Watching if it's small town. Let's see. Okay, so it says Prudence Welch has found solace in her introverted life in Baysville, a charming tourist town in northern Ontario. I feel like that's small town vibes, right? Like, I don't know. I've never been there, but it's giving small town to me. I don't know why. Okay, so we're gonna go with People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young for small town. And I'm very intrigued to see how I feel about this because I have read 1, 2, 3, wait, how many other Hannah Bonham Young books have I read? I've read a handful of them, like 3 or 4, and I've only liked one. So this is kind of like, if I do like this one, okay, I'm gonna keep giving her a chance. If I don't like this one, I don't think I'm gonna read any more of her books. Out on a Limb was a 5-star read for me. I loved it. Everything else that I've read by her, I'm just like, not for me. So we're gonna see. We are gonna see. I love the cover. I love the cover. So cute. So I have high hopes, but I also kind of have low expectations because I have heard that a lot of people don't like it. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one for small town romance. And then the next prompt that we have is a book set in autumn, which, hello, I could just do this one. If this doesn't scream set in autumn, I don't know what does. Am I gonna regret having 2 fluffy romances on my TBR? Maybe, but maybe not. So I bought this one solely based on the cover. I have not heard anybody talk about it. I've seen it around a lot. I haven't heard anybody actually talk about their review. Like, I don't know if anybody's actually read it or if everybody's just bought it because the cover is really cute, but it's called It's Different This Time by Joss Richard, and it says, reeling from the cancellation of her hit TV show, June Wood has nothing left to lose when a mysterious email lures her back to the New York City brownstone she called home before she moved to LA. Thanks to a clause in the former owner's will, she and her old roommate, Adam Harper, now own the multi-million-dollar property, or at least they will in a month once all the paperwork is signed. It's a second chance romance. I love a second chance romance. So I'm actually excited to read this one. I am more excited to read this one than I am to read this one, if I'm being honest. But I feel like these are good to read in November. Like, if I'm not gonna read these in November, they're gonna be sitting on this cart for another year, and we don't want that. So I'm actually excited to have both of these on the November TV. Our next prompt is a book that takes place at a school. A book that takes place at a school. I don't know if this one does or not, but I don't wanna look because I don't wanna read this one yet. I kinda wanna read this one in the wintertime. Like, that's kind of the vibe I have, like either December or January. So we're gonna save that. I know for sure I have one that takes place in a school. Does this one take place in a school? But this one is giving me like spring vibes. I don't really want to read this now. Yeah, so this one, she transfers to one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So I could do this one. And then what else? Oh, I forgot about this one. Hello, The Faculty Lounge. Hello. Okay, we're putting this one back for sure. Okay, so we are gonna do, I'm 100% using this for that prompt. It's called The Faculty Lounge by Jennifer, I don't know how to say her last name. I used to work in the schools. I was a PE teacher for a little bit, and then I was a speech language pathology assistant for a while. And because I have some insight into what it's like to be a teacher, I just think I'm gonna get a kick out of this one. I randomly bought this at Barnes one day. I had never heard anybody talk about it. I still haven't, but it caught my eye on the shelf, and I was like, wait, I think this will be funny. Like, I think I will get a kick out of it. It's a super niche read, I feel. Like, I feel like if you're not in education, you're probably like, I don't care to read that. But it says, a funny, big-hearted story with a sprawling cast of teachers, administrators, and staff at a Texas high school. So I am excited to read this. It's super short, so I feel like it'll be a nice, quick, easy read. And so, I don't know. I guess we'll find out if I like it or not, but we are gonna add that to the TBR. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Before we go any farther, we still have 4 books to choose. Let me go grab something for y'all. Okay, I'm back. Are you ready to see what I grabbed for you? Drum roll, please, please. Ah! The 2026 Peacefully Productive Planners are here. We have been shipping them out since September. You guys, we are over halfway through our inventory already, and it is not even November yet. Like, I'm so excited. If you don't know what my day job is, I own a planner and productivity company called Hustle Sanely that I founded back in 2018, which is so wild that it's been that long. And we create planning tools that help women pursue their goals while prioritizing their mental health and relationships. I personally am a recovering workaholic. I am a recovering people pleaser. I am a recovering perfectionist. And so I wanted to figure out a way to pursue my goals, but without sacrificing my mental health and the important relationships in my life. Life was just very out of harmony before I founded Hustle Sanely. I would just be stretched so incredibly thin. I was in this constant cycle of burnout. So what I did was I created a life planning system called the Hustle Sanely Planning System, and it is actually built right into our planners. So we have the Peacefully Productive Planner. It's in 2 different cover options. We have our limited edition green gingham. She's stunning. This is the one that I am using for 2026. And then we have our signature tan leatherette one as well. This is the one that I've used for the past 2 years. But the Hustle Sanely Planning System is built right into our planners. And so it's just gonna help you create goals that make sense for your season of life. It's gonna help you schedule your goals in a way that allows you to honor your energy, honor your capacity, and just not overextend yourself. You're gonna be able to show up well for all areas of your life. So here is a little peek, if you can see, at our weekly spread, and hopefully you can see, I don't know, it might be like kind of washed out. But I am obsessed with the weekly planner. That's the one that I use because at the bottom, there is a section to track your daily HS5, Hustle Sanely 5, and that is a part of the Hustle Sanely planning system. And so you get to track your 3 most important tasks of the day, how you're gonna move your body for 30 minutes, how you're gonna tidy your space for 15 minutes, and then something kind that you're gonna do for yourself and something kind that you're gonna do for someone else. So the beginning of the planner has pages that walk you through the entire Hustle Sanely planning system, and it teaches you how to create your version of a peacefully productive life. I am so proud of these tools, and like I said, I have been doing this since 2018. We have thousands and thousands of customers who have used the Hustle Sanely planning system and have gone from living these lives where they feel just spread so thin, burned out, overwhelmed, to showing up well for all areas of their life in a way that feels good for them. So very proud of the work that I do. And so I don't do a lot of sponsorships here on YouTube. I get pitched a lot for people, like companies that want to sponsor YouTube videos, but I'm like, I'd rather just talk about my own brand and my own products because I'm so proud of them. So if you guys have not found a 2026 planner yet, I would be so grateful for your support. Even if you just want to go on the website, check them out, see what we've got. Find all of our stuff at hustlesanely.com, and I'll go ahead and create a special discount code just for my YouTube fam. So you can use the code YouTube20 for 20% off of one purchase at hustlesanely.com. I would love to get some of our planning tools in your hands because we all deserve to live a peacefully productive life. Thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support that you have shown my planner company since I've started making videos on YouTube. It means so much to me. And speaking of that, and then we'll finish up choosing our TBR together, that I've been working on with my husband over the last couple of weeks. We have a workout shed in our backyard, and we have turned a corner of it into kind of like a podcasting / filming area for me. It's almost done and it looks so cute. And I'm gonna actually start recording my podcast episodes. And so I'm gonna start uploading some of them or all of them, I don't know yet, to my YouTube channel. So 2026, you guys are gonna see more videos from me. I will of course have my monthly TBR video every single month. That is not going anywhere, but you're also gonna see some peaceful productivity videos woven in as well. And I am so excited and I hope that you are too. So anyway, okay, let's get back to choosing the rest of our November TBR. Next prompt is another one that I'm dreading, and it is a book that's been on your TBR the longest. It's this one. It's this one. I know it, and I have been putting it off because I've just heard such mixed reviews about it. And so I've just been nervous because I'm not like a huge fantasy person, and also it's very thick. And so I've just been putting it off. This is the month to do it though, because if I am going to, oh, my dog's rolling over again. If I am going to complete book bingo, truthfully, I have to read this because the prompt says book that's been on your TBR the longest. This is the book that has been on this cart the longest. So the time has come. It's now or never. Like, it's truly now or never. I don't know what it's about. I did start it probably like, I don't know, 10 months ago, and I got like 20% through. I'm just gonna start it over. I just feel like if I tried to pick it back up where I left off, I would not know anything that was going on. So Quicksilver, adding it to the TBR. As much as I don't want to, I'm doing it. Hey, and who knows, maybe it'll end up being one of my favorite books. I don't know. So adding that one. We have 2 more to choose, 3 more, wait. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 3 more to choose. All right, so a thriller or a mystery. So I could do The Inmate for sure by Frida McFadden, but honestly, if I could choose recursion, I would rather do this one. I don't know the genre, so let me pull up Goodreads, see what we've got going on genre-wise for recursion. I've never read anything by Blake Crouch before. I've heard a lot of people talk about Dark Matter, but I haven't heard a ton about this one, but I think it sounds so interesting. It's kind of about, hold on, let me see. I can't multitask. What is the genre here? Honestly, you guys, I hate Goodreads. Ugh. I feel like Fable is so much better. I should have just looked it up on Fable. Science fiction, thriller. Okay, mystery thriller. So I could read this. Honestly, I think I would rather do that over this. People are just telling me that I'm gonna be scared when I read this. And like, I don't want to be scared during the holiday season. Okay, so I'm so sorry, but that one is gonna go back on the cart. But this one is about, from what I know, which is not a lot, this guy, I think he gets like hit upside the head and kidnapped, kind of, right? Actually, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know, but I do know, oh yeah, it does say the rare thriller that will astonish you, not just once, but again and again. So it is a thriller. Okay, that's what it says. At first, it looks like a disease, an epidemic that spreads through no known means, driving its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. That's right. But the force that's sweeping the world is no pathogen. It's just the first shockwave unleashed by a stunning discovery, and what's in jeopardy is not our minds, but the very fabric of time itself. So this guy is basically shown, like, if you didn't marry your wife and have kids, like, this is another life that you could have lived. And I think he's like trying to get out of that life and like back to his wife and kids or something. It's like very time travel-esque. And I've heard that you're like on the edge of your seat and that you are thinking about this book for like a long time after you read it. Like, it's one that really makes you think, and I love those. Plus it's not super long. And so with Quicksilver, I'm like, girly, we need something that is not super long. So I think we're gonna go with this one because I would rather choose a thriller that is going to like have me on the edge of my seat than one that is going to actually scare me, you know? So we are adding Recursion by Blake Crouch to the TBR, which I'm very excited about. Okay, yay. We have 2 prompts left, and they're not like book specific. So the first one is Read by a Fire, and then the second one is Read at a That's What She Read readathon, which we have 2 That's What She Read readathons every single month where we get together on Zoom and we just kind of vibe out and read together, like independently, but like together while we listen to jazz music. It's a vibe. But we do that twice a month. So for book bingo, you can't repeat books. So I can't use one of these for, Read at a That's What She Read readathon. Like, I need a book specific to those 2. So Read by a Fire and then Read at a That's What She Read readathon. So I'm for sure gonna choose the reading list for one of them because I have to read this book for book club in the month of November. So I'm probably gonna choose this one to read at a That's What She Read readathon. And it's called The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. I've heard this one is also emotional. I know that it has to do with a grandfather and his granddaughter. That's kind of all that I know. Do they leave notes in books or something like that? It obviously has to do with books. I don't know if the grandfather exchanges notes with his granddaughter or if he like has another friend that he's exchanging notes with through these books, but I don't know. We're gonna find out together because I have to read this for book club. But I am very close with my granddad, and we've gotten even closer since we lost my grandma last November, and so I know this one is gonna be probably a tearjerker for me, but I have to read it, so we're gonna go with it. And what are the odds that I'm reading it the month of the year anniversary that my grandma passed away? So I feel like this is gonna hit even harder because of that. I don't know if the grandfather and granddaughter are like close or have a good relationship in this, but I'm gonna find out. But I know I'm gonna be thinking of my granddad every second, and probably my grandma every second as I read this. So we're gonna add that one. So that means we have to choose one more book, and the prompt is Read by a Fire. Listen, I'm gonna be so honest, it is still blazing hot here in Florida. I'm not trying to have a bonfire in my backyard right now. I will be sweating, so I'm probably gonna turn on a YouTube video that has like a vibey fireplace and sit my butt on my couch with the air conditioner on and read by a fire that way. I kind of have an idea of what I'm in the mood for because it's been a couple of months since I read the last book in the series, and I think that I'm really craving reading Daisy Hates The Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. I read Magnolia Parks years ago and I did not like it at all. And so I quit the series, and people were like, you have to give it another chance. And I was like, no, I'm good. But then earlier this year, I read Jessa's new book, not her newest one, not Time of Your Life. What's the book that I read by her? Conditions of Will. Read that earlier this year, 5 stars, blew me away, very unexpected. And so after that, I was like, okay, I will give Magnolia Parks another chance. And I read it earlier this year. Like, I reread the first one. Still didn't love the first one, but I was like, okay, eyes on the prize, let's power through. And so I continued the series. Now I'm invested. I will say I don't like reading these. I like listening to them. I'm definitely gonna get the audiobook for this and sit by my fire and probably color on my iPad or like hand letter on my iPad while I do that. I am just imagining it. It's gonna be, I'll have some like pumpkin tea. It's gonna be a vibe and I cannot wait. So I'm gonna add this one to the TBR, and that completes our November TBR. If I can read this whole TBR, I will have successfully filled up my bookish fall bingo board. Can't wait. We'll see. We'll see if I make it happen. I'm very hopeful, especially now that I don't have the pressure of clear the cart. I'm just like, girl, we're reading for fun. We can DNF, we can go book shopping if we're not feeling anything. Like, reading is fun again. Reading is fun again. And it's supposed to be. It is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I chose my November TBR. Thanks for forgiving me for quitting Clear the Cart. I know that you guys love that series. And it was really fun the first time I did it, but for some reason this time it's just stressing me out and it's not worth it. So anyway, yeah, okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have the best day ever.